All right. Thank you for joining the Fattz Media Podcast. My name is Seymour. I'm your host. And we're going to talk about today how do you get a deal, but you keep all of your rights. All right. So I'm going to tell you some ways that you can structure your deal and it'll be beneficial for you where you get to keep your masters and you get to keep all of your, ownership of your music. So if you're one of those people that likes to tune out of videos in the first 30 seconds, you already know the drill. With all my episodes, just tune out. This video is not for you. But if you are an independent artist or a creator and you're looking to know and get some knowledge on the music business, stay tuned and subscribe because I drop episodes every week where I tell you ways how you can structure deals, how you can promote your brand, how to release music. And I do all of this for free. So you don't have to go pay for any courses or any of that stuff like some other people do. But just get it here for free and then do your research. You know, the more you research, the more you learn, the easier it is, and the more money you save. Now, independent artists, I know you're working hard. You work hard to save your money. You work hard to release your music. You work hard to come up with your music. I'm sorry, with coming up with your rhymes, with your poetry, with whatever it is, and you want to have ownership of that. I understand. So now here are some ways that you can keep ownership of that. Releasing it yourself is the first way, of course. So if you want to go release it yourself, you can go and just, I would recommend copywriting your music. So you go to copyright.gov and you go over, you could copyright the lyrics. So you could put that on the writing. You could copyright the music. So you can copyright that. That'll copyright the audio. Okay, you can do that. Now the fee is about $75 to $85 right now. It changes. I believe it changed recently, a few years back actually, but for me is recently because it was always a set price. So that's what it's going to cost you. It's best to copyright. Some people copyright one song at a time. Some people copyright the whole album. You can copyright the whole album to have it all under one copyright, or you can copyright it one song at a time, and it's going to cost you $80 each song. Okay. Now, there's a great investment because if anything does happen, you have that. And this is copywritten by the US government. So you have documentation that you own it. All right. Another thing you can do before releasing your music yourself is make sure that all your names are locked down. Like I always say in all the episodes, because you will not believe how many people I go to their pages, how many artists I go to their pages, they submit their music to us. We go look up their music. It's great music. It's great music. We find their link tree. We find their thing. We go to their site, and then a whole bunch of links don't work. That's the first complaint I have. Then you go to their Instagram page and there's one name, and then you try to find them on TikTok, and they're there, but they're under a completely different name. All right. Now this is not that hard for us because we're motivated to look for that person, but if the fan is not super motivated where they want to take an extra step to find you, you're just adding another barrier and it's going to be harder for them to track you. Okay. So make sure you lock down all your names. That means website domain. That means social media accounts. That means email address. Make sure you lock all of this down before you release music. Once you release music, you will not believe how many people will go ahead and steal your name and lock all that stuff down and then sell it back to you. Now, it doesn't happen often because you have to be a pretty big artist for them to steal you. Sometimes really big artists lose out on their names, on their domains. There's been a lot of stories where people had to pay to buy the domain for their website. And some people actually had to sue because they couldn't get the domain. They couldn't even go and purchase it. They had to go sue that person and try to get the domain. And it's a little easier to sue if you own the trademark or if the domain is your actual name, then that helps a little bit, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to get it. Okay, now let me see. I just diverted a little bit there. All right, so if you're releasing music, you want to have your ownership. First way, lock down your names. Make sure you have that. Copyright. It's a must for me. I don't know how it is for you. After you submit to distribution platforms, make sure you register with a PRO and make sure you set everything up with Song Trust and everything else. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the other videos. All right. Now it's a lot of work. It's a lot of legwork, a lot of signing up, a lot of doing this and that, but that's how you get paid. So you got to do it. This is if you want to do it alone. All right. Now there's the other way. You can go private equity. Private equity is where somebody invests in your project and then somebody like Spliquity. Spliquity is a label. They go 50-50 with you. So what you do is you submit your project, they review it. If they approve it, because there's only so much money people have to invest in projects, but if they approve your project, they like your project, they look at your social media and see that everything's legit, They'll sign up with you. You guys sign up together, and everything's 50-50. They'll spend money promoting your project. And then when they recoup, when they get the money back that they spent, then it's all 50-50. But the thing is with this, sorry, you get the masters, you get ownership of your project. You own your project. You're just splitting the proceeds of the project, and they'll keep promoting that project. It's not a record label deal where you're locked in for any albums or any of that stuff. You just lock in for that one project. So you can do a single or you can do an album. All right. That's one way. Now, there are other private equity investors, but they're pretty hard to find. You can find them. It's kind of hard though. You got to look into who help people release projects, track down that company, and then that's how you track them down. And you got to approach them. So one person, if you're in the rap game, is Tyga. When Tyga released his last two projects, they were both released with private equity investors. He was not. He was releasing them as an independent artist. Private equity supplied the money, and then they get their money back, and then they split it. All right. I don't know what the terms were, but that's one person that I know 100% that's done that. And there's countless others, countless others. If you guys want to do an episode on that, if you want me to do an episode on that, I can do some research and I can get you a list of the people. And then if you guys want to do that work, that legwork, and try to track those people down, you could do it. Easier way, you go to Spliquity and you email them right through their website. You upload a song and then you have them check you out and see if they like it. If you want to do something like that, right? Now, another way is you go the major label route. All right. You go major label, which is harder because they're actually not looking for people to sign unless your song is already bubbling. But let's say you do get a meeting. Let's say you do know some people and you get in and you want to own your masters. Just be prepared that if you're going to own your masters to your music, they're going to give you a lot less money, which is fine. You want to have that long generational wealth. You want to have that master where you don't have to fight for it back and you don't have to wait 25, 28 years, 27 and a half years to get those rights reverted back to you. Then you want to say, hey, I'll do any kind of deal. We can talk deal, but first things first, I need to own my masters and I want to own the rights to my music. All right. So what you can do here is you do a licensing deal. Doesn't have to be with a major. If you get a smaller label as well, because Spliquity, that's more like a 50-50 type of situation. That's more of like an investment company investing in you and then you guys split it. But if you're looking for like a smaller label or a big label, you want to license your album to them. So this is something where you would have your album completely done. You record it yourself, you master it yourself, you do everything yourself, and then you're looking for somebody to help you distribute it and promote it. So they're willing to do that once they hear the project as well, similar to Spliquity, but the difference is that they're a label. All right. They're going to set you up with more stuff. They're going to set you up with interviews. They're going to set you up with other things. All right. So that can be a route if you're interested in something like that. That definitely could be a way that you can do it. All right. So those are the three ways that you can release your album and keep all of your rights. All right. Now, if you want to know another way that you can do it and you can keep all of your rights, and I believe this, you could do a single, push that single really hard yourself, then run over to a smaller label and see if they'll release the whole project with you. That'll be the best way. But you still have to record the whole project yourself. You still have to do all the hard work. You have to do hard work for you to be able to keep your project to yourself. You can't ask somebody to pay for your project, help you mold it, help you do it, help you get features, and then they're not going to get some part of that album. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. These major artists, they're doing that because they already proved themselves, or they worked where the label ate off them for so many years that they had to give it back to them. They had to come to some kind of agreement because now they're so big, they can go over to another label. They can go release it themselves independently, and their name is so recognizable that they'll make a ton of money on their own. So they're like, no, 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 we're going to keep them. And if he wants his masters, let him have his masters, but we're going to split everything 50-50 or 60-40 or 70-30 or whatever it is. I'm probably thinking it's probably more 70-30. It's most likely 7-30, 60-40, depending on the artist. And meaning the bigger portion going to the artist. And is distribution with promo, but they get to have that artist in their roster. If it's a big artist, I'm talking about big artists here. All right. So the smaller artists, definitely 50-50. Definitely, if they're lucky. All right. Don't let them trick you. This is why they're doing interviews all over the place saying that there's no money in music. Listen, if you release a good album right now and you're independent and you get streams, you're going to get paid if you have all your paperwork lined up. Now, too many people are focused on getting money just from streams. They're not focused on getting money on the back end, on the publishing end. All right. They're just worried on getting money from the streaming companies. But you have another check coming through from the recording rights organizations, all right? From the professional rights organization. You got money coming in from over there, but people aren't registered. And I've seen people do interviews claim that there's no money in business in music, and then I look it up and they're not even registered. Now these are people that are early on. This is not the bigger name artists. I've seen a few indie artists say this. And then when I look up their project, it's not registered. So that means they're only eating off of streams and they still haven't registered for their publishing. Now, this is where some people approach them and say, hey, I'll set it up. I'll set you up to it. We can do a publishing deal. I'll set it up where they register all your music to publishing and then they get a cut. Now, you can do this all yourself. If you're independent and you want to stay independent, like 100% really independent, you can do this all yourself. Now, it's going to just take some work. All right. So here's another way before I let you guys go. If you're going to release something independent, you can go to fattsdistrict.com. All right. You could look at the description in the description section, look at the web address. Go to fattsdistrict.com. This just like DistroKid, just like TuneCore, just like all of those. You submit for distribution. And let's say you don't want to distribute the whole album there. Let's say you already have an account on DistroKid. A lot of indie artists have accounts on TuneCore, DistroKid, United Masters, all of that. But you have a single laying around. You take that single, upload it to Fattz District. Say that you want to release it, fill it all out. Then right there in the control panel for the user, all the links are there for you to register to all the pro companies right there. So you have copyright website there. You have ASCAP or BMI, their website there. It has all the websites you need to fill out that you need to get done, filled out so you can do it completely on your own. They're all there. And none other distribution company does this. No other distribution company, when you sign up for an account and you go release a project, they don't give you the links to the other sites that you need to go to make some money. They only let you get that money from them for the streaming. But I mean, they're not obligated to. But this is just a major help and a major boost to independent artists, having that link there, because independent artists don't want to take that step to look for that. So, but you can go there to fattsdistrict.com, subscribe completely for free. To release a single is for free. You can release a single for free right now. Upload a song, upload cover art, fill out the information, submit. That's it. They push it through. 2-3 days later, you get an email. Your album's up, your single's up, and you have access to control panel right then, right when you create the account. There's no confirmation. You just got to confirm your email saying that, hey, this is really my email. But then after that, you have access to your control panel and you can see all the links and everything. All right. And then you get the free Linktree style page, which is my Fattz page. You get a whole bunch of, you get a whole bunch of other stuff. All right. But all for free. So check it out. If you need to know what sites to sign up for, that's one way you can do it. And everything's in one spot. All right. Check it out. All right. That was my spiel for the day. Another way, if you want to sell completely independent, you don't want to go streaming. A lot of people don't want to go streaming as of late because of the whole pulling down your music because of AI. I talked about this in another episode. There's a girl named Kara. She released an album. She spent $100,000 independent, completely independent, her own money, her and her boyfriend, her money, not her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's a producer. I helped her out with the producing and they had connections. She's a producer as well. But $100,000 of her money, she put it up there. The song was up for the album was up for a few months, got taken down, and she only made a few $1,000s. I'm gonna make an episode about that. That's the next episode I'm gonna make. I'm gonna talk about that. But yeah, it's insane. So imagine she spent 100 grand, but imagine you spending 10 grand. You get 5 features, you buying beats to own complete, you copyright register, you put it up into streaming, and then a month later it gets pulled. They say that it's suspicious activity. They close your account. You don't get paid a dime, or you only get paid what you got paid for the first month. Let's say they leave it up there for 3 to 6 months. First 3 months, you get a couple dollars. Then when it's picking up steam, they cut it out. They delete it, and then you're screwed. All right. So it's possible. So always make sure you have a backup plan. And the first plan should always be the best plan. And I believe the first plan should always be having your own website, a direct communication to your fans. This is why I suggest you go to indiesitekit.com. and get a website made. There's a special coming up. I'm going to have a special code in the next episode, but I'm going to have a special code for you guys where you guys can get a special discounted rate on a website. You're going to get a full website with a full year support, and it's going to be a very low rate. I don't know what the rate is yet because we're still discussing it, but it will be up in the next episode where I talk to you about Kara and how she lost 100 grand and what she's doing about it and how she's going to release music in the future because of this situation. All right. Thanks for watching. Peace.